Hi guys, this is the second of two inbox reviews for today. We've done the old, now we're into the new. Basically this is the fleet replacement for the 747 in BA's airline. It basically stemmed from development which was going to be, the A350 was going to be a further development of the A330, but then they decided to do a completely new design in an extra wide body aircraft, so they went with that. The first one, which was an A350-1000, flew around about, I think it was September 2014, and then about a year later 1000 prototype flew. What was I going to say? It's basically a revolutionary design because a lot of the wing is composite. It's not steel. It's composite materials to make the aircraft lighter and far more faster and more fuel efficient, really. Which is why a lot of these airlines now are basically going for a twin jet airliner, because it's more economical, and it was going to be a competitor for the 787, which it seems to be proving to be when that was announced. So hence why they did, and they're mainly engined with Rolls-Royce Trent engines, which do have a high output of energy. Well, I'll give you a prime example. One engine is the equivalent of 9 tornadoes taking off, so there you go. And obviously it's a little bit more economical on running and fuel loads, etc., as opposed to the 747-400. They've also been designed to replace the A340s in most airline fleets now. I mean, Qatar have them in their fleet. They're basically bringing them in. Singapore Airlines use them as a long-range airline on their 1000, which has replaced the 747, and possibly the old 777-200. And also I think Virgin have taken them on to replace the whole of their A340 fleet. I think about 900 aircraft have been delivered already, but there are projected 405 more orders. Now, BA have got their first two, but their third was delivered, but it went straight to storage, because obviously with the way the situation is in the world at the moment, it's just not profitable to keep airliners afloat, so they're being kept in storage until travelways open up. So at the moment BA have only got the two in their fleet that are operating, but they were primarily designed to take over the routes from the 747-400. Now they would have been fully equipped by about 3 years from now, but obviously with the pandemic, which was brought forward, costs were cut, they lost money and revenue, so they had to get rid of the 747 fleet earlier than planned. So there you go. But I mean, to be honest with you, it is a beautiful looking aircraft. I mean, I saw coverage of it at the 2018 Farnborough Air Show on television, or was it online, and I was impressed by the climb rate of this thing, because the guy who flew it was just flying it like a ruddy fighter, and it's got such a good turn rate on it as well. I mean, those engines are just so powerful. So, you know, as I say, it's a lovely looking aircraft. I mean, it's longer than a 747, and I'll show you that presently, but I think it's going to be a well beater, to be honest, the way things are going. And I mean, I'll get them flying over here, and you can always tell that distinctive low growl tone with the Trent engine. So yeah, quite a thing of beauty actually. So there you go. Anyway, this is a fairly new kit that Zvezda brought out, the 787, no, not 787, the A350-1000, and I think Revell do the 900. But out of the two, this is the cheaper one, to be honest with you, if you're not looking to spend out too much money. Hence why I went for it, and I've had a look at the kit. It's beautifully moulded, I have to say, and I was quite surprised at the size of the damn thing. And as I say, it isn't a competitor for the 787, which I've also got on my stash, and I'll show you that one much later. Yeah, lovely looking aircraft all the same. And it's got all the LED technology in the cockpit, and I think at one time, just before they were going to retire the 747 and Virgin, they actually did on Big Jet TV an overall tour of one aircraft in the hangar at Heathrow, and to be honest with you, I was quite impressed with it from what I saw on their Virgin fleet. So yes, that was very interesting, and in a way that sort of sparked my interest in getting one. And here it is, but the box is just massive. I mean, it is huge. It is absolutely huge. It really is. Anyway, it is in circulation now, and if you want to get hold of the kit number is 7020. On the side, you've got all the colour call-outs, and funny enough, in Tamiya, so that's quite handy because I tend to use Tamiya paints when I'm building kits. You've got the Deckle sheet here, a little bit more information, but obviously some of it is mostly in Russian because obviously it's Eastern Bloc Kit Company. And that's alongside the other side is all the other products that they do, such as the A320, the IL-62, which I've actually got in my stash, and their equivalent of the 757, the TU-204, which is that one there at the end. So yes. Anyway, without further ado, as you can see, you've got a box art illustration on the front of the actual prototype 1000, which I believe appeared at Farnborough. And this is the one I saw with an extremely impressive climb rate when it took off. And I do like the colour scheme on it actually, although I won't be using that when I build it. So there you go. Anyway, we'll open up this massive box. As you say, you've got the illustrated box art there, and as with Zvezda, like ICM, side opening box. And then as a bit of ease, I've actually taken all the parts out of the bag in the box. Hang on, let's move the camera down. If it's going to behave itself. Oops. Which it's not. Is it going to stay still? Yeah, I've taken all the parts out of the box just to make it a bit easier. But first off, we're going to have a look at the instruction sheet. Just pop them in there. And typical 2-page pamphlet form. A little bit of information about the aircraft itself, and I'll just read it out to you. It says the A350-1000 is the largest version of the A350 aircraft family developed by Airbus. The main flight of the A350-1000 was made in November 2016. The plane features a longer fuselage than the 900 model, wider wings, increased capacity and more powerful engines. The A350-1000 can carry up to 369 passengers, 40 more than the 900 model. This aircraft meets all the modern requirements for cabin comfort, safety and flight performance and fuel economy. Qatar Airways was the launch customer of the A350-1000, introducing it into its fleet in early 2018. So there you go. And obviously you've got the option of having it on its undercarriage or in flight mode on a provided stand. So there you go. First option is stage 1, which actually, believe it or not, is the main wing assembly, which you have on here. It's telling you to cut the assembly version. I don't know what that is. I suppose that's just in case you want the undercarriage bay closed, I suppose. And then obviously you put your undercarriage blade in. Oh, I see, it's cutting out the bottom of it so that you put the undercarriage bay in. I see, right, okay. Then you put the wing parts together. Before that, you've obviously got to assemble the nose gear bay, and there's a lovely bit of detail in that. Then the actual main undercarriage unit goes in, followed by the cockpit assembly, which you've actually got some detail for the cockpit, which is most unusual for 1/44 kits, because you don't normally see the detail. But because this has got a wide cabin window, obviously you would see it. So yeah, it's good that they've provided the detail. Then that's actually assembled onto the nose gear bay. And then with stage 3B, you've got the assembly of the engine, but I'll go into that in a minute. And then the next process is you put the cabin detail inside the cabin at the front of the actual fuselage. Just behind that, you put 20 grams of weight in to keep it nose heavy, otherwise it becomes a tail sitter. Then obviously you put the interior windows in and the main glazing onto the fuselage, and that's that basically. Next up is the engine assembly. Then you've got the compressor blades which go in to the main engine fan unit. That's done into the inner chamber. Obviously you've got the outer chamber which goes together. Well, the inner chamber of the actual exhaust part of the engine goes in. The exhaust goes on, the exhaust ring, and then the same on the other side. And then you put the outer engine covers on to go over the housing. And then it's onto the tail planes, which you see there. And then obviously you've got the fin ribs that go on. And then obviously you've got those are assembled. And then you go into the main undercarriage units, which are assembled, along with the gear bay doors, which you can see there. Okay. And it's just basically a case of putting the rear tail planes on with the elevators, etc. And you can position them in a down or up attitude, whichever you decide. APU unit goes onto the back of the actual tail, and then obviously you've got your sat nav housing right there, along with the other lumps and bumps that go on. Then the fuselage goes onto the main wing unit. And then you put the outer ring on the engines along with the fairing. All your fairings go onto the wing along with the engines. And then your outer winglets go on. And then obviously you've got the assembled undercarriage bay units going to the main undercarriage bays, which you can see there. I think I can get that into focus. Can you see that? Oh, actually, I'll get that into focus for you guys because it's a little bit out of focus. There you go. And then the wheels go on, etc., and including the nose hub. Obviously you'd have to do a little bit of research on how it actually sits. So it's on the undercarriage bays, those go on. Or you've got the alternative of putting it into a flight mode and putting the stand on, and there's the assembly of the stand. Quite straightforward. And that's it, basically it. And then obviously at the bottom here, you've got the sprue trees, so you can check that the kit parts are all there in the box. So that's that basically, guys. Now, I'm just going to put the box over on the side here. Now we go through it one step at a time. Right. Now the first thing I'm going to show you is the comparison of how long and big the fuselage is on the A350 to the 747. Actually, I've got the wrong side, so basically have a look here. And I'll put it on the cutting board to basically give you a comparison. Right, here you go. Now, if you look here, if I can get that to focus, you can see how big this aircraft is. I mean, the 747 is big, but the A350 is just a lot longer. So that is one bloody great big lump of an aircraft, as you can see here. So yes, it's quite impressive. And I would think the 900 is around about the same sort of length as the 747-400. So yeah, it's quite mind-boggling actually. Come on, sit together, that's it. Now the camera stand is not behaving. Right, there you go. So yeah, it's quite surprising, but the detail on it is very nice. Hang on, if I can get this stuff. This damn camera is not behaving. This would happen when I'm recording, so bear with me a minute, guys. Right, I'm just trying to get this to behave a bit, and it's not doing so. Let's tighten that. No, it's not having it. Ah, oh, what a nightmare. Hang on, bear with me a minute, guys. I'm just trying to get this sorted out. I think I'm going to need a new camera stand. Okay, we've got it. Right. Okay, here we go. Right. So, let's get it to focus. Trouble is I can't. There we go. I mean, as I say, there's some lovely panel line detail on this. Why won't you damn well focus? There you go. And as you can see on the tail, it's beautiful panel line detail on there. Nice and crisp and sharp. Exquisitely moulded kit. So yes, nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, yeah, admittedly there is one or two windows that've got a little bit of flash, but it's nothing that a scalpel can't fix. But generally, it's a lovely, well bloody moulded kit. Hang on, let's see if I can get this to focus. Come on, you devil, focus. Why is it not focusing? Damn it, come on. Will you focus? No, it's not having it. Right, okay, there you go. I don't know if you can see the detail on that. But, yeah, it's beautifully moulded. Lovely, exquisite panel line detail on there. I mean, I can see it from where I'm standing, so yeah, I can't complain about that at all, to be honest with you. Oh, damn, won't you focus? So yes, very nice indeed. So yeah, it's going to make a lovely kit, I think. And then obviously after that, you got your wing panels here. You got one big unit of a wing panel. Again, there's some lovely panel line detail on it. This is the underneath of the wing, and obviously you've got the undercarriage bay units there. I have got a metallic detail set which will enhance this, but it's beautifully moulded. They've really caught the detail really well. So yes, very nice indeed. Actually, let's try and get it to focus. It's just not behaving itself lately, this camera. So yes, very nice indeed. And it's also got that nice dihedral as well on the wing, because obviously this carbon fibre, and the wing does actually, when it actually lifts up because of the weight of the aircraft, the wing does actually flex. So that's the carbon fibre that it's made of, so it gives it that strength. And obviously you haven't got the weight of the aluminium on it like you would on a standard aircraft, you know. Again, this is the upper wing. Again, lovely recessed panel line detail, as you can see here. Absolutely exquisite. And then we've got another sprue with your tail planes and compressor blades, which are beautifully moulded. I have to say I'm very impressed. And then obviously you've got your winglets right here. In our engine housing and unit there. Again, lovely recessed panel line detail. There's your outer engine cover. Again, lovely detail on that as well. In our engine mount. And then obviously you got the inner cabin floor here, which is not bad considering it's 1/144th. And then obviously with the rear bulkhead for the cabin as well, the front pilot's cabin, that's nicely detailed as well, which you can see there. So yes, very nice indeed. And then if we move on a little bit further up here, you've got your nose wheel bay units, and they're beautifully detailed. If looking a little delicate, but I'm sure they go on pretty well. And then obviously you've got your satellite housing there, and rear exhausts there, exhaust rings, inner engine fans, and the detail on the actual nose wheel bay is very beautifully caught as well. I don't know if you can get that, if that can focus it. I'm trying to get it to focus. There you go. Yeah, it's very nice indeed, actually. I'm very impressed with this. And then obviously you've got your tail planes right here. Again, nice recessed panel on detail. And obviously you've got your nose wheel bay there. Again, there's nice detail in that as well, as you can see. So yes, very nice indeed. And then obviously here you've got your main undercarriage units. And the wheels look quite nicely detailed. So yeah, you've got your main bogies in there, which actually sit the housing that house the wheels, and that main undercarriage leg there. Again, lovely detail on it. I am quite impressed with this actually, and for what I got it for, it's very reasonable. So yeah, that's part of your undercarriage bay units as well. So yes, very nice indeed. Right, let's move that 747. Fuselage half. Right, and then obviously on the other part, if you want it in flight mode and sitting on your desk, you got your stand right here. So there you go. Alright, now what else I've got is your colour call out. For the actual colour scheme, if you're going to do this in the prototype, which you've got here. So that gives you a guide to where the decals go. I must admit, this prototype one is quite a distinctive scheme, especially this colour on the back of the fuselage. So, hang on, let's get that out. So that's sort of a guide there, and then obviously you've got another guide there. So yeah, that would be a colourful little piece to have on your desk, I must admit. But this is not the colour scheme I'm going to do it in, believe it or not. The decals themselves, I'll have a look at those in a moment. And then obviously you've got your clear parts. A couple of the... God, this thing's not focusing. Come on, focus. There you go. You've got your navigation lights here, your main windscreen, which is quite wide, so obviously you'll be able to see inside the cockpit. So hence why they've actually detailed it, and it's very clear actually. And then obviously you've got your cabin windows here, array of them, which used to be, which I suppose you're all familiar with the old Airfix Sky King series. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them, to be honest. I might just use the ordinary PVA method. Once I've actually painted it, so yes. Decals. And we've got them here. Nicely done. I should imagine they bed down very well. And then you obviously got that distinctive pattern on the end of the fuselage, and obviously on the tail. Oh God, for God's sake, this thing's not focusing again. Obviously this significant colour scheme for the prototype on the back of the fuselage, and obviously on the tail plane itself, so it'd be quite distinctive. So yes, I myself will not be building it as the prototype, and I've also managed to get some extra brass metallic details set in with this as well, which I managed to source off eBay. The colour scheme I'm going to do it in is a BA bird, which we've got here. This is an aftermarket Deckle sheet. I think it's V1 Decals. I'm going to have to do a bit of research because the seller didn't actually send me a sheet of where these are supposed to be properly placed. So I'm going to have to do a bit of research on this online. So there you go. But you've also got it for the winglets as well as the tailplane, and that's with that striking Trafalgar scheme that they have on their aircraft. So yes, very nice indeed. And it looks as though it's in the registration, the very first aircraft that was supplied, Bravo Alpha. So there you go. And also I managed to get myself, as I say, the metallic detail set, which is actually designed for the Zvezda kit itself. I've got obviously the inner gear bay doors, etc. I've got air filters on here for it. So yes, that will sort of enhance the kit, as it were. So yeah, there you go. So basically guys, that is the Zvezda A350-1000 in a nutshell. I would say out of the two, it's a lot cheaper than the Revell kit. So hence why I bought it, as I say. A lovely looking kit all the same. I'd heartily recommend you get one. I've got a few Zvezda's airliners, and I must admit every one of them I've seen so far I'm impressed with. I'll probably be reviewing them again at some stage as well. Hang on, let's put everything in its box. But yeah, go out and get one, definitely. Especially if you're into your modern jetliners. And there are plenty of aftermarket colour schemes that you can get hold of, including the Qatar Airways scheme. But lovely kit all the same, and I'd definitely go out and recommend you go and get one. So yeah, let's get this to focus again. There you go. Yes, a lovely kit of a lovely looking aircraft, and I'd heartily recommend you go out and get one. So there you go. Anyway, that's the end of these two reviews for the day. Now I'm going to take a 2-day break. Obviously we're going to wait to see what Boris's announcement is going to be, so depending on that you may or may not get some more inbox reviews, because if he announces all the shops are opening up, I have to go back to work. So there you go. Anyway, that's it for now guys. So until the next time, stay safe, get kit crazy, and happy modelling.